There are things that we blame the earth for doing, and the earth is so innocent. Yeah? What we call gravity is simply mass. It's weight. But we called it force. Force of gravity. Force. Yet there is zero force. Zero. I tried to touch on that on Sunday. When I was trying to let you know, look, you can jump 30 centimeters. You can jump up to half a meter. You can jump up to a meter. And what brings you down? Now, you see, people are, if you say there is no force of gravity, you know unreasonable people what they're going to say. They say, climb a 2-story building and jump, and let's see if you're not going to fall. Who said you only fall because of gravity? I'm talking of weight. You will still fall. Gravity is the name that you gave to weight. Mass. You jump up, what brings you down is your weight. It's weight. So it's not something that the earth is doing to you, it's something that you are doing to the earth. There is no invitation back to earth. That is why you can see it is not up to the earth to decide what comes back. You watch a feather fly away in the presence of a so-called force. And you can't do that because of your weight. It's not even the law of gravity, it is the law of mass, weight, and buoyancy. Your ability to float. If you jump from the building, the heavier you are, the faster you fall. Less weight, the slower you are. How come force of gravity seem to have favoritism? It seems to know who weighs more and what weighs more. What is determining our speed in falling is the difference in weight. It's not up to gravity to choose, to decide. It is up to us. Our weight. Our weight. And I asked people a very simple question. If I can jump this moment, I mean in the air, this moment. You see, the effort is so minimal against a force. If the force was with that intensity that we have preached, the force of gravity, if it was that serious, do you know that it would even crush your legs? You would not even rise from your bed. You would not have the power to lift your body from the floor if the force was really coming from there. You still hear somebody saying, let him jump from a tree. Let's see if he will not. So are you saying there is no force of gravity? I'm simply saying we have given a wrong name to something that is already playing out that we can see every day. Okay, so, all right. So, if you are 100 kgs, and we put you on a scale, and we see 100 kgs, and then the earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. what's your actual weight? If we make the earth to stop, because you know as it is spinning, you're supposed to be thrown away, you lose weight. So if you're saying you're 100, what really are you if we are to stop the earth from rotating? Because you can't sit on a moving globe and still maintain the same weight. Are you really 100 kgs? Okay. Now, all right. We are talking of naming things that were brought to us by God so that we name, and we had no understanding of what we are looking at. It was Adam who saw the wife and he was excited and named her. So I'm simply saying, if I can do this, I have this with so much ease. It means that then if this thing is to spin too fast, the force is not forceful enough to keep me locked, to keep me attached to the earth. The seas and the oceans are heavier. The force is not that much that it can stop the waters from spilling over, from being thrown away from the globe. Already that speed is proving. Already force of gravity is proving to be weak. My brother, I'm jumping. It's proving that if you spin it with that kind of speed, you will miss me here. I won't be here. And I'm asking very simple questions. Okay, let's have a telescope, not from here looking up, but from there up looking to the earth. I want to see aeroplanes flying upside down. A picture, a satellite image of a spherical earth, and we have people under and planes upside down. The picture has to come out like that. There are no two ways about it. You can't edit that. There has to be a plane upside down under the earth. It has to be under. From a distance, we have to see them flying upside down. And the wheels are on top like this. From a picture. And that makes sense. And what I'm saying doesn't make sense, right? And that makes sense. I understand, you see, if you are in a bus, if you are in a train, if you are in a car, what happens is that the car has its atmosphere. The air that you have inside of the car is one with the car. Right? Let's follow. Hey! Let's follow. This is why you can walk from the back of the bus to the front. The bus is traveling at 100 kilometers an hour, and you are walking probably, let's say, even a kilometer an hour. It's like you are overtaking the bus. You are not. You are inside. You don't need to be traveling at 100 kilometers an hour or 120 kilometers an hour from the back of the bus to the front. No, even with less speed, because you are walking within the atmosphere of the bus. So the air inside is being carried with the bus, right? It's one with the bus. That part we all understand. And that's why people say that, you know, it's not just the earth that is rotating, but its atmosphere is also moving together with the what? with the earth. So what it means is that the speed of the earth then has to be the speed of its atmosphere. Now, being able to stay in a bus, and I can move around, and we can even see flies flying in a bus. They have less speed, but it can fly from the back to the front. They fly with less speed, because it is a member of that one body. But that cannot happen in an open track. If you are in an open trailer, the faster they drive, the wind is coming against you, because it doesn't have its own atmosphere. Are you following? Are you following? So if we are rotating on earth and it's like an open trailer, we ought to be blown away by the wind, given that speed. The reason why we're not being blown away, yet we believe it's rotating, it means also that we have to agree that we are saying also the atmosphere of the earth is rotating together with what? With the earth, which makes sense. All right. But for us to have that atmosphere belonging to the earth, we ought to have a canopy. Otherwise, it's a trailer. So for us to have a canopy, we have to all believe in a firmament that God created. There ought to be a firmament. According to your Bible, God placed a firmament in the sky to divide the waters below from the waters above. And the word firmament means a firm, solid surface. Google it. Not Google. Look in the Bible. Look at the word firmament. It's not a spiritual canopy. No. It's a firm, solid structure that was placed by God in the sky.
Firmament.
To keep water, oceans that are above from waters beneath. Firmament, what does it mean?
Extended surface that is solid.
Extended surface that is solid. This is not even Google, your Bible. That's what God created, and He placed that firmament above us. And it's solid. Hello? It's what?
Solid.
Solid. So that it can hold solid water above it. So it is there to divide. It is there to keep the waters that are above us from coming on us. It's solid. It's tangible. If you don't believe in that, then you must not believe in the movement of the atmosphere together with the earth. Let's put a canopy on the vehicle. If there's no canopy, it's a trailer. So now that we've put a canopy, we have a firmament, a solid structure above us. That is what then justifies the movement of the atmosphere together with what? With the earth. Here comes the next question. Is the sun and the moon and the stars inside of the firmament or above? Yes, we need to know. Be very, very careful of where you place them. Because once they are inside, it means that it becomes difficult now for the vehicle that is moving to rotate around its own atmosphere. So it has to be moving at the same speed at which the earth is traveling. We have to agree, because it has been made one. The earth, its atmosphere, and the firmament. Whatever is within the firmament ought to be traveling together with the earth. So how does the earth then rotate against its own atmosphere? The speed of the earth ought to be the speed of the atmosphere. It ought to be the speed of the sun. So at the end of the day, if the speed is the same, there's no more movement. It's the same speed. It becomes stationary. Nothing is moving there. Okay, if you take the sun, let's say you put it over the firmament. If the moon and the sun are over the firmament, explain to me the Apollo mission. How did you get to the moon? How did you pass the solid structure that God placed? Solid. So your rocket must not just be a rocket, it also has to be a submarine. You will have to go through an ocean. After the firmament, after breaking through the firmament, listen to me, listen. All right. I'm showing you all this so that you can see our inability to name God's creation. How we have created problems for ourselves that were not originally problems. The earth now is according to our misunderstanding of it. What you call lack today, lack, which is not having, it is your misunderstanding of another gift that God has provided. It's a misunderstanding. Aro. And I'm asking this question now. God puts the lights in the firmament, and he gave the light a mandate to give its light to the earth. So the light that the sun produces, the sun was told by God, you give light to the earth. So which means above the sun there shouldn't be any light. The sun was told by God who to give. That is why above the firmament they don't use the sun. In heaven they don't use this sun. It's a local light. Yes. So there is a firmament above the sun, and there's an ocean that waters down the light. It chases the light away. They are not using that light above the sun. It was put there by God to give light to the earth, not to everything, to the earth. Why would God give that assignment to a non-moving object? And you tell the sun, I've put you there to determine days and seasons and years. And you are telling a sun that is stationary. And you tell it, I've put you there to determine. And yet the earth comes to rotate around the sun. No, so who is determining now? The earth. You don't give the sun a mandate to determine. If it is the earth that determines according to its movement around the sun, it has to be the sun doing the movement. Now, you see where there's a problem? When you want to talk to people, the first question that people have to answer is, do you believe in the Bible? That's the basis.
That's where the discussion starts.
Most of the people that we see today, they have no clue. They don't even believe in the Bible. When a person tells you now, you see, the moment you say that, let's go by science, we don't start with earth, we start with evolution.
You are in 8.
Let's start from there. problems.
Already we're starting to have problems.
You start questioning whether science, whether biology is accurate. From the beginning of mankind, there's a contradiction between science and God. God created men, not a chimpanzee, men, in his own image and in his own likeness. And they're coming and they're saying, we have all evolved. I don't have time arguing. You are the
ape. You.
There is no proof whatsoever. Sit down, please. Do you know that even when the author of such a ridiculous theory was about to die, he made some confessions that they deleted? The owner, what you are borrowing now and you are writing, we are putting in textbooks. The owner of that idea had to make some confessions that people had to destroy because they had created the education around falsehood. It's amazing how somebody can bring evidence, scientific evidence, that they are borrowing from somebody who has said, no, that picture doesn't belong to us. Not a single person can give me proof today of a round earth except what they borrow from NASA. And NASA is saying, no, we never took a picture. I don't understand why people should argue with the author of an idea. They borrow an idea from a person who is making a confession, and we are very sorry. It's a compilation of data. From that day until today, you shouldn't be talking to me. You must have a brother, you must have a sister, you must have an uncle who is a pilot. Even but in a pilot, ask them.
You can't feel to have such
It's as simple as that. You just ask them. Do you bend like this? You are flying for 12 hours. Do you nose dive like this to compensate for a spherical earth? Do you? Science, brains. You only need a relative who is a pilot. That's it. Why am I putting this into teachings? If you can't understand physical things, guys, Jesus said the same thing to Nicodemus. Oh my God. If I'm telling you things, physical things like this, and you cannot understand me, how about heavenly things? Heavenly things. No one, not even a single Zimbabwean, can answer why most powerful countries had to sign a treaty to forbid people from going beyond and seeing nothing. So, all of us, we believe in rapture in the face of gravity. And we are okay with that. We are okay. We are okay.